This is the eastern line of shops in Area 6 in the market. And many of these shops were prosperous enough that they offered a special inducement or enticement for customers to come. This circular area in the sidewalk in front of this shop would have contained a very large water jar, in Arabic called a zir. So as a shopper was doing business, they could pause and get a cup of water. What's fascinating was inside this pit, we not only found some of the broken pottery pieces, we also found about a half dozen copper coins. The merchant had thrown the coins down in the pit because they were so worn. They were little falls, a very small denomination coin that were so badly worn they really weren't going to be suitable in commerce. So having probably taken them in a bad transaction, he had sort of wedged them in between the pot and the plastered basin in which the pot was held. In the evening, the merchants would close their shops up by folding the doors. The doors had a wooden sill, and when the wood has rotted away, it's left a depression here in the plaster surface. Today, shop owners pull the door down like a modern American garage door to lock up the market. But in these cases, they would have had folding partition doors that would have closed up and closed off the market after the business was done during the day. Removing the bulk in this shop yielded an interesting surprise on the floor. Not only a lot of coins, but several plastered basins. In fact, I think these three must well have been the legs for a tabletop that came up somewhere around here. The merchants literally plastered his table onto the floor so it didn't come away. A rectangular plastered feature here may well have either been the plaster installation to hold a box, or may well have been some kind of small container for the basin of a sack or for liquid. It's very difficult to interpret what exactly all of these features were used for. We do know that this eastern facing shop was one of the more rich shops because the number of coins found here in this soil far outweighed the coins found along the northern shops. Those shops we know as bakeries and butcheries. These shops were more exclusive materials being offered for sale. This stone and mortar wall divided one of the shops at Tuneinir into two sections. The front section of the shop would be the section where the merchandise would be on display and where the merchant would be selling things over his counter. The back section was obviously his storage. Let's say this merchant was a cloth dealer. If you came and asked for some red silk, if he had none on display, he'd probably tell you, "Wait, let me check my stockroom." And he would look around the corner here to see if there was red silk. This arrangement of the front part of the shop for merchandise and display, the back part of the shop, sometimes for the safety of the more valuable commodities, is a process that continues today in modern Arab markets. The difference, of course, is they have metal doors versus the wooden doors that would have sealed this shop off, but they operate very similarly. Narrow shops, front part for display and sale, back part for storage.